So this year was the year I got my very first dog. I went in there thinking I was going to get a different dog, and I ended up walking out with a different one. I ended up walking out with a Rhodesian Ridgeback. Most of the time when people ask me what kind of dog do you have, and I tell them I have a Rhodesian Ridgeback, I often get a very confused look. Since I get a confused look, I decided I was going to do some research over the dog. Knowing about dog breeds is always a good thing to know, because, or any breed of pets or anything, is because most people get a pet in their lifetime, and it's good to know about what kind you're going to be getting. So today I'm going to be talking about the history of the Rhodesian Ridgeback, and then some facts about its appearance, and then some characteristics, and then lastly, a disease that runs in the Rhodesian Ridgeback's genetics. The history of the Rhodesian Ridgeback is a very interesting one. According to an article titled Rhodesian Ridgeback found on dogtime.com, published by Totally Her Media in 2017, the Rhodesian Ridgeback was bred in southern Africa by a group of farmers called the Boers. This was done by breeding dogs such as Great Danes, Mastiffs, Greyhounds, Bloodhounds, and a dog native to the Khoi. The one thing that the Boers noticed about the Rhodesian Ridgeback is that they are very good hunting dogs. They started out by hunting small game, and then they ended up hunting lions. Can you imagine how powerful of a dog it would take to hold a lion back? According to an episode of Dogs 101 found on Animal Planet, which aired in 2008, directed by Andrea Levine, the phrase, "keep a lion at bay," came from the Rhodesian Ridgeback. Back to that article on Dog Time, in 1911, we started importing Rhodesian Ridgebacks to the U.S. After World War II is when we really started to import them to the U.S. Today, the Rhodesian Ridgeback is the 54th most popular dog recognized by the American Kennel Club. So now that I've talked about the history, let's talk about the appearance of the Rhodesian Ridgeback. According to the Complete Dog Book, a book written by the American Kennel Club and published in 2006 by Random House Inc., the Rhodesian Ridgeback has a very strong, very fit appearance and is very athletic. According to that episode of Dogs 101, the Rhodesian Ridgeback can keep up with a running horse for 30 miles without even breaking a sweat. Back to the book of dogs, it has a very symmetrical appearance and should be a little longer than they are, a little longer than they are tall, and be very well balanced. Male dogs of this breed should weigh about 25 to 27 inches tall and weigh about 85 pounds. Females of this breed should be 24 to 26 inches tall and weigh about 70 pounds. According to the episode of Dogs 101, the Rhodesian Ridgeback, one of their most defining characteristics of appearance is that they have a ridge of hair going down the length of its back that goes in the opposite direction of the rest of the hair on its back. Another thing about the Rhodesian Ridgeback is they have thick padded feet, which protected them during the tough terrain and miles of wear and tear in the terrain in Africa. So now that we have talked about the appearance, I will now talk about some characteristics. On Dog Time, there was a list of a chart full of some characteristics about the Rhodesian Ridgeback, and they were rated out of 5 stars. So let's go take a look at that really quick. If you notice, the Rhodesian Ridgeback was rated 4 stars for adaptability. This is because they are very tolerant of hot and cold weather, and they adapt well to apartment living. They are not adaptable as well towards being alone, so keep that in mind if you ever decide to get Rhodesian Ridgeback. Another thing you'll notice, it was rated 4 stars for its overall friendliness. This is because it is very affectionate with the family and is very affectionate with both kids and dogs. They are not as affectionate towards strangers though. According to Healthy Pets and a list of facts they put on Marsola.com, published by Dr. Joseph Marsola, the Rhodesian Ridgeback can be very protective, but it doesn't bark or hardly. It'll use that as a last resort. What it'll do is it will stand in between the owner and the threat. Another thing is that with health and grooming, it has very little grooming needs. It hardly sheds and it hardly drools at all either. But lastly is with exercise needs. One thing to keep in mind is that it has a ton of energy and a lot of intensity that it needs to work on. So now that we've talked about the characteristics of the Rhodesian Ridgeback, I will now talk about a certain disease that is common in the Rhodesian Ridgeback. According to an article by J.E. Mann and J. Stratton, published in 1966, found in the Journal of Small Animal Practices, the Rhodesian Ridgeback has a congenital malformation called dermoid sinus that is often found in the Rhodesian Ridgeback. According to another article written and published by the American College of Veterinary Surgeons, dermoid sinus is a disease that happens when the nervous system and the skin don't completely separate. This can happen at birth and can often be inherited and present at birth. And according to that Dogs 101 episode found on Animal Planet, dermoid sinus is a hollow tube that runs down the back of the Rhodesian Ridgeback, and the only way to remove it is for it to be surgically removed. So now you know about a disease that's common in Rhodesian Ridgebacks.